Welcome to the channel. Today's topic is the history of Islam in Brazil. It is a fascinating blend of migration, culture, and social evolution, which reflects how this faith has gradually woven into the fabric of Brazilian society. The roots of Islam in Brazil can be traced back to the early 16th century when African Muslims were forcibly brought as slaves. Many of these enslaved individuals were from regions in West Africa, such as present-day Nigeria and Senegal, where Islam was already well established. Despite facing oppression, these Muslims secretly practiced their faith, creating a foundation that would later influence Brazil's religious landscape. The history of Islamic practices in Brazil's colonial period, particularly through the Male Revolt of 1835, marks an important chapter. This was an organized uprising by African Muslim slaves in Salvador, Bahia, who resisted the oppressive colonial system. Although the revolt was suppressed, it highlighted the resilience of African Muslims and their determination to preserve their beliefs and practices. The Male Revolt, despite its failure, left a lasting legacy, demonstrating that Islam's roots in Brazil were not only deep but also resilient in the face of adversity. This period also witnessed attempts by the ruling class to eliminate Islamic practices, seeing them as a threat to colonial stability. These efforts led many Muslims to go underground with their practices, keeping Islam alive in secrecy. By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, waves of Muslim immigrants began arriving in Brazil, primarily from the Middle East, particularly Syria and Lebanon. These immigrants sought a new beginning and economic opportunities, bringing with them not only their Islamic beliefs but also a rich cultural heritage. They settled in urban centers such as São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, and Foz do Iguaçu, establishing small communities that gradually grew over the decades. Through their presence, the Muslim community contributed to the multicultural and multi-religious identity of Brazil, participating actively in economic, social, and political life. The establishment of mosques in Brazil marked a significant turning point for Islam in the country. The first official mosque, the Mesquita Brazil, was built in São Paulo in 1929, serving as a place of worship and a community center for Muslims. Over time, more mosques and Islamic centers were established across Brazil, providing spaces where Muslims could gather, pray, and celebrate religious festivals. These institutions also became centers of Islamic education, where children learned Arabic and the teachings of the Quran, thus fostering a stronger sense of Muslim identity. The role of Islamic organizations and educational institutions has been crucial in the growth of Islam in Brazil. Various organizations have been established to promote Islamic knowledge, provide social services, and foster unity among Muslims. These institutions work to spread awareness about Islam among both Muslims and non-Muslims, emphasizing values of peace, charity, and social justice. They also organize cultural events, lectures, and interfaith dialogues, helping to create a more inclusive environment for Muslims in Brazil. Islamic schools offer a curriculum that combines Islamic teachings with secular education, enabling Muslim children to maintain their religious identity while integrating into Brazilian society. Islam in Brazil today is a reflection of diverse communities, including Afro-Brazilian converts, Arab descendants, and more recent converts from different ethnic backgrounds. Many Afro-Brazilians have embraced Islam, finding in it a connection to their African heritage. Conversion to Islam has also been a growing trend among young Brazilians who are drawn to its message of equality, spirituality, and community. The spread of Islam among Afro-Brazilians highlights the link between Islam and resistance against racial and social injustice, echoing the legacy of African Muslim slaves who resisted colonial oppression. The Brazilian government has generally maintained a policy of religious tolerance, allowing Muslims to practice their faith freely. This tolerance has facilitated the growth of Islamic institutions and communities, although Muslims still face challenges in terms of societal acceptance and combating stereotypes. In recent years, efforts have been made to address these issues through educational campaigns and interfaith dialogues that promote mutual understanding and respect. Muslims in Brazil have also become more vocal in advocating for their rights, participating in discussions about religious freedoms and anti-discrimination laws. In recent years, the growth of social media and the internet has had a significant impact on the spread of Islam in Brazil. Social media platforms provide Muslims with a space to share their experiences, discuss religious issues, and connect with other Muslims across the globe. Online platforms have also been instrumental in dispelling misconceptions about Islam, presenting it as a religion of peace and compassion. Muslim influencers, scholars, and organizations use social media to reach a broader audience, making Islamic teachings more accessible to Brazilians who might be curious about the faith. The rise of Islam in Brazil reflects a complex history shaped by migration, resilience, and adaptation. From the arrival of African Muslim slaves to the establishment of vibrant communities by Middle Eastern immigrants, Islam has become an integral part of Brazil's multicultural society. The growth of Islam is not just a result of demographic changes but also a reflection of the universal appeal of its message. Today, Muslims in Brazil are contributing to the country's social, cultural, and economic life, while also maintaining their religious identity. Through dialogue, education, and social engagement, Islam continues to grow, fostering a sense of unity and community among its followers and contributing to the broader Brazilian society. This journey of Islam in Brazil illustrates the adaptability and strength of the Muslim community, as they have successfully preserved their faith and practices through centuries of challenges. The future of Islam in Brazil seems promising, with an increasing number of Brazilians showing interest in Islamic teachings and values. As Islam continues to grow, it is likely to further enrich Brazil's diverse cultural tapestry, fostering a spirit of mutual respect and understanding. Thanks for watching the video.